Welcome. In today's practice, we're going to have a physical focus of back bends, and the intent that we're going to be working with is moving through fear. One of the props that we're using in today's session is a roll. If you haven't made one before, or you need to have a quick refresher as to how to make one, pop back to the supplemental video on props that I added to the beginning of the 28-day challenge. Now, there are absolute contraindications for using a roll, i.e. there are times when you shouldn't use a roll at all. That is if you're pregnant or if you're recovering from abdominal surgery. For those of you who are using a roll, then I'm happy with you being comfortably uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is that when we get into the session, we'll be working with the roll resting underneath the belly. It needs to be above the level of the pelvis, because if it's pressing on the pelvis, then it's not going to be doing anything. But it also needs to be below the level of the ribs, because if the roll is pressing on the ribs, there's a chance that you could injure yourself, and I certainly don't want that to happen. The reason that we're using the roll is because it's great for being able to help release the psoas, the muscle that connects the spine and your femur, your leg bone, but it's also a really great tool for being able to help build strength in your back as well. And I'm hoping that you'll see that as we get there. As we're working through the practice with the intent of moving through fear, I'm not going to spend the whole of the practice asking you if you're feeling fearful yet. I'm going to ask you to do that for yourself by keeping hold of that conscious awareness of your emotional state as we work through the practice. Because frankly, if somebody's saying, are you feeling any kind of fear right now, just puts you on edge and it takes you away from the moment. So look at being able to take a little bit more control over what it is that you're putting in terms of the focus of your practice as we move through it. But if you need to, then you're welcome to be able to adjust the level of challenge that we're playing with here. So if you're using the roll, but you find that that's too strong, you can make the roll a little bit smaller or get rid of it entirely. If you're finding that back bends are challenging for you, then that's fine. It's great for you to be able to challenge yourself. But if they're challenging you to the point where you don't feel that you're actually getting anything from the practice, feel free to take one of the other back bending sequences that we've already covered and work with that. If you have any comments or if you have any questions, then please feel free to leave them below the video or get in contact with me directly. Enjoy. Come to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Just starting off with the hands resting on the knees or the lap, close your eyes and begin to strengthen your breath. Just taking stock of what and how you feel right now before we begin our practice, recognizing what it is that you've brought onto the mat with you. And as we work through this practice with the intent of being able to move through fear, just allow yourself a few moments to steady your mind, recognizing that there is going to be some strong degree of challenge through the practice here today. Open your eyes. Take the hands behind you and come into Baddha Konasana. Have the soles of the feet comfortably close in towards the groin. Have the palms grounded, lifting the chest up away from the hips. Now we're going to run through 3 rounds of Kapalabhati breath, followed by a round of upright Uddiyana. When I say upright, it means that we're not coming over into a forward fold over the heels. 1 round of Kapalabhati breath goes like this. It's a sharp tug in of the belly to push the breath out, and then relaxing the belly out to draw the breath back in. So a single Kapalabhati breath sounds like this. And when you string them together, a few rounds of Kapalabhati goes like this. As you're working with this, if you find that you're running out of breath for your exhale, just give yourself more time with the belly relaxing out to get more breath inside of the body. And you're not working with Uddiyana, with the Ujjayi breath, as you're using the Kapalabhati skull cleansing breath. When we're working with Uddiyana, you're going to hold for as long as is comfortable for you. And then as you start to feel for what Uddiyana brings up inside of your mind, inside of your body, I'm going to ask you to be able to see if you can push yourself a little bit more. So hold the Uddiyana for a little bit longer. Starting off together with Kapalabhati, I'll let you know when we're ready to move into Uddiyana. So, chest lifted upright, inhale till you're halfway full, and off we go. release Kapalabhati. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Just inhale till you're full and exhale till you're empty. And at the end of your next inhale, open the mouth wide, exhale everything out. Hold the breath out and engage Uddiyana, sucking the belly in towards the spine and up into your empty chest cavity. So you're not breathing in, you're keeping the breath locked out. And releasing Uddiyana, take another couple of breaths. Halfway through your next exhale, returning to our second round of Kapalabhati. If you're comfortable doing this with the eyes closed, then close the eyes. Really focusing on being able to get that strong pull in towards the belly. So it's a really good clench of the abdominals. And releasing Kapalabhati, taking a couple of full breaths here. And at the end of your next full inhale, open the mouth wide, exhale sharply and come back to Uddiyana. And release Uddiyana. Come back to your full breath. And when you're ready, coming back to Kapalabhati for the final time. On this last round, look at being able to increase the speed, if that's available to you. And release. Couple of full breaths here. And one final round of Uddiyana. Open the mouth, exhale out. Off you go. And release Uddiyana. Inhale slowly. Come back to your full deep breath. And keeping that breath strong. Open your eyes. Extend the left leg out in front of you. Coming into heel to groin. If you're comfortable going stronger, taking heel to butt with the top of the right foot on the floor behind right hip. Left hand comes down inside of left calf, left elbow inside of the left thigh, and roll the chest open to the right side of the room. Long inhale, sweeping right arm up and over. As you exhale, wrap the left shoulder down away from the left ear. Start to relax the neck and breathe. Gently flexing toes the left foot back towards the shin. Slow inhale, filling the body, helping you to lift the chest higher. As you exhale, deepening the stretch through the right arm if that feels good for you. Going into chest opener. Inhale, bring the right hand up towards the ceiling. Turn the palm open to the right side of the room. Exhale, bring that right arm down in line with the right shoulder. Then, slowly start to ease the right hand back. Find a comfortable stretch in the right side of the chest. Still with the neck soft, still with the jaw unclenched. And inhaling, releasing that right arm down, raise the chest up and switch sides. So straightening right leg out, sole of the left foot in on the right thigh, heel to groin or heel to butt if that works for you. Right palm inside the right calf, right elbow inside of your right thigh, roll the chest open to the left side of the room. Inhaling, take the left arm up and over. As you exhale, roll the right shoulder down, start to let the neck become soft. On your inhale, bring the left arm up towards ceiling, rotate the left palm open to the left side of the room, and exhaling, bring the left hand down till it's in line with the shoulder. Then start to ease the left hand back. Feel for what's happening here on the left side of the chest, whether this is tighter or more open than the right side. And inhaling, releasing the left arm down. Raise the chest up, unfold that left leg, grab hold of your roll and lay down on your back. Starting off, straight forward, abs to the roll. So roll goes in between the thighs, comfortably close to the pelvis. Interlock the hands together. Bring the hands up to the top of the neck and the base of the skull. Bring the elbows towards ceiling, knees above the hips, straighten the legs as much as is comfortable for you and open the mouth. Bring the breath out. Slow inhale through the nose, keeping the jaw soft, fill the body, float the head and shoulders an inch off the mat. Then curling tailbone up, squeeze the roll tight. Exhale, bring the chest high up off the floor, push the heels up towards ceiling, flex the toes back to the shins and pull the belly down. Then inhaling, relax the chest and the pelvis back, push lower back to the mat. Hold the breath in, curl tailbone up, squeeze the roll tight. Exhaling, slowly bring the chest up towards ceiling, throat open, jaw soft. Inhaling, relax the chest and the pelvis back. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, squeeze roll and sit bones together. Exhale, bring the chest up away from the floor. Draw your lower abdominals down towards the spine. And inhale, release chest and pelvis back. Take 4 more in your own breath. And remember, you're working with a slow, controlled motion here. And inhaling, release chest and feet gently down to the floor. Remove the roll from between the legs. Then interlace the hands together again, top of the neck, base of the skull again. 4, elbow to knee. Knees above hips, heels just below the level of the knees. Open the mouth and let go of the breath. Inhaling slowly through the nose, fill the body up, lift the head and shoulders an inch off the mat, and hold that breath in. Curl the tailbone up, exhale, lift chest up towards the left knee, stretch the right heel forwards, chin away from the chest, looking up at the ceiling. As you inhale, bend the knees, come back to center, push lower back to the floor, and hold that breath in. Curl tailbone up, exhale, chest up to right knee, push through the left leg, and reach through the left heel, so you're stretching into left hip. Then inhaling, bend the knees, come back to center. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up slowly. Exhale, chest up to left knee, stretch the right heel forwards, pull the belly down. And inhaling, bend the knees, come back to center. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, feel the core switch on. Before you exhale, chest up to right knee, left leg forwards, chin away from the chest, looking up at the ceiling. Pull the belly in tight, then inhale, bend the knees, come back to center. Take 3 more rounds, both sides. And gently releasing feet and head down to the floor. Unlock the hands from behind the back of the head. Grab your roll, pop it medium width back between the thighs. Shuffle it close up towards the pelvis, ready for bridge with a roll. Set up the position of the feet hip width apart. Flip the palms open towards ceiling, keeping the neck soft. Take a long breath in. As you exhale, grounding through the feet, tuck the tailbone up, float the hips up towards ceiling, and breathe. As you're working with bridge with a roll, with each exhale, tucking tailbone up more strongly, getting that length in the lower back, and then squeezing the roll more tightly between the thighs. As you inhale, you can relax that tuck in the tailbone, but don't relax the grip on the roll. So each exhale, you're tucking tailbone up again, then squeezing the roll more strongly. Feet active, engaging down through the heel and the ball of both feet. If you're comfortable going stronger here, then reaching the knees further forwards, applying a little bit of pressure back through the heels as if you're trying to wrinkle up the mat between your feet and your shoulders. But arms, shoulders, neck and jaw stay soft. And exhaling, tucking tailbone up gently. Lower the hips down to the floor. Remove the roll from between the legs. Set it to the side and come onto all fours, facing towards the front of the mat, forward dolphin with one leg bent. Lower the elbows down to the floor. Adjust your hand position as you need to so that you've got the palms down on the mat rather than on the floor. If you'd rather work with the hands clasped, then go ahead. Shoulders above elbows, knees under hips, neck and jaw soft. Inhale. Reach the middle of the back up to ceiling. And exhaling, bring the knees up off the floor. Take a moment to settle into a strong dolphin. Then, when you're ready, exhaling, raise the left leg up. Bend the left knee, squeeze the left heel in towards the bum. Raise the left knee higher without letting the pelvis rotate open to the left side. Left foot still active, pulling toes of the left foot back to the shin. Right heel still pushing down towards the floor. Breath deep. On your next inhale, gently releasing left foot down. Come back to full dolphin. So you're pushing both heels down to the floor just to take the stretch into the back of the left leg as well. And exhaling gently, lower the knees down. Sit the body up, roll the shoulders out, just give them a little bit of TLC before coming back to the second side. So remeasure the biceps, choose your hand position. When you're ready, exhaling up through to dolphin. And from dolphin, raising right leg up and back, reaching right heel in towards the bum, raising the right knee higher. Make sure you're still challenging yourself with the position of that right leg. You're still looking to keep the right knee lifted towards ceiling. And inhaling gently, release the feet and the knees down to the floor. Sit the body up, roll the shoulders out, and come standing up at the front of the mat. Now I'm looking to be able to get you to open up your hips, but also to put a lot of heat inside of the body, just so we can go a little stronger with our practice here today. So we're going to be running through 4 classic suns followed by 4 sun Bs. If you find that that's too strong, then feel free to substitute some of the sun Bs for classics instead. But I want you to be able to keep moving with your breath just for long enough to be able to get a little bit of a sweat on. Together, exhaling, hands to prayer position. And inhaling, here we go. As always, slow and controlled movement. You're taking your time. And you're feeling through the suns. So you're recognizing what it is that you're doing with each breath, with each pose. As we move through into the sun bees, I'm going to ask you to stick with cobras rather than moving into upward dogs, just because I want to be able to keep the strength in the upper body for the later part of the practice. Starting off, exhaling, hands to prayer position. Inhaling, off we go. As you're working through your cobras, really feel for being able to use the muscles in the back to lift the chest rather than just pushing back through the hands. When you're done, bring your mat and make your way over to your wall space for dolphin on the wall splits or forearm balance splits. When you're ready, for dolphin on the wall splits, find your leg length, bring your elbows, your leg length away from the wall, grab hold of the biceps, choose your hand position. You can go with hands clasped or palms flat, neck soft, exhale up off the floor, then walk the feet up the wall, taking 1 foot off but keeping 1 foot firmly grounded on the wall. So you get a bit of stretch in the hips, but you're not looking for hang time. You're not looking to be able to get your feet off the wall here. If that's what you're working with, move into that now. If you're happy going with forearm balance, then similar, facing towards the wall though, elbows less than the leg length away from the wall, hand position as you wish. We'll be going for 10 breaths on each side. So bring yourself up through dolphin, shoulders above the elbows, and exhaling, kick up. Wherever you're at with this, engage down through the forearms to keep the crown of the head lifted off the floor, drawing the crotch up towards ceiling. And exhaling, gently release down. Sit the body up, roll the shoulders out. And then coming back for the second side. If you're working with forearm balance, look to be able to kick up with the other leg. And exhaling gently, 1 foot at a time, bring yourself down. Sit the body up, roll the shoulders out, and bring yourself away from the wall, back for the rest of the practice. Making sure that your block, strap and roll are still handy. Come to downward dog. Switch the breath up. Keeping your right foot where it is. Inhale, bring the left foot forwards and stand up. Coming to warrior one on the ball of the back foot. So both feet pointing straight forwards. Start with the hands on the hips and tuck the tailbone down. Then reach left knee forwards, right heel back. Find that opening in the right hip. And inhaling, sweep the arms up. Wrap the shoulders down away from the ears. On your next exhale, releasing the hands down to the floor. Lower the right knee down to the mat for a high lunge position, twisting lunge. Right hip above right knee above the left heel, and inhale. Reach up through the right hand, make a fist. Exhaling, bring right elbow down on the outside of the left leg. Roll the heart open towards your right fist, wrap the left hand around, and reach the heart up towards your hands. If it's possible for you to relax the neck here, then let the right ear hang over the right shoulder. But if that makes you lose your balance, then keep the neck in line with the upper back. On your inhale, releasing your twist. Take the hands down to the floor, step back to plank, and then lower knees and chest all the way to the mat. Grab hold of your block and pop your block thin ways in between the thighs, comfortably close towards your pelvis. We're going to run through 5 rounds of cobra pull-ups. So the palms grounded underneath the shoulders. Exhaling, tuck your tailbone down. So you're pushing your thighs firmly against the mat. Squeeze the block tight between the legs. Ground the top of the feet onto the mat. Shoulders roll back and inhale. Pull the heart forwards, raising the chest up. Feel for being able to lift the lower ribs up off the floor. And exhaling slowly, pulling the chest forwards as you start to lower the heart down and relax. Then repeat. Tuck tailbone, squeeze block, engage the feet. Inhaling. Reach the heart forwards. Use the back muscles, help to lift the chest up with the hands. As you exhale, still trying to reach the heart to the front of the room. Pull the chest forwards. Lower the heart down and soften. 3 more times in your own breath. Off you go. Then remove the block from between the legs, set it to the side and press back through to downward dog. Ready for the second half of the first vignette. Inhaling, right foot forward, stand to warrior 1 on the ball of the back foot. Use the hands to help get that tuck in the tailbone. When you're ready, releasing the arms up, keeping the shoulders wrapped. And exhaling, releasing the hands down to the floor. Gently lower the left knee down, come to your high lunge position and flowing with your breath. Inhale, reach up through the left hand, make a fist. Exhaling, left elbow down to the outside of the right thigh. Roll the heart open, fist with the left hand, wrap with the right, and reach the chest up towards your hands. Take the best breath that you can despite the tension of the twist. On your inhale, release and twist. Take the hands down to the floor. Step the right knee back next to the left. Grab hold of your roll and place it down on the mat. And then lower the chest down. Bring your belly over the roll. Now, if this is your first time working with the roll, then focus on being able to get the roll above the level of the pelvis, but you're not letting the roll touch your ribs. If the roll's too large for you, then take a layer of mat or a layer of towel off. Just make it a little smaller. But you need to be able to lay down over the roll. And I want you to feel comfortably uncomfortable. So, lowering the chest down so you can rest your chest on the mat. Turning your head to the right side, just laying your head down onto your hands. Keeping the belly soft. Just taking 5 slow breaths here. Inhaling, filling the body up. Feeling for being able to push the diaphragm against the roll with the breath. As you exhale, letting go. Now maybe you can feel that strong pulse down against the roll in your belly. And that's fine, don't worry about that. But you're just looking at being able to get used to the idea of having the roll nestled in there. So from here, we're going to come into Cobra over the roll for 5 breaths. Take the hands down, and you can have the hands out in front of the shoulders or underneath. If you're new to this, I'm going to say take your hands out in front. If it doesn't really feel like this is your thing, then you can try having the smaller roll or even taking the roll out altogether. As you exhale, roll the shoulders back, tuck the tailbone down. So you're wrapping the spine, the pelvis around the roll. Inhaling slowly, pulling the heart forward, lifting the chest up. Keeping belly soft. Just 5 full breaths here. And exhaling, pull the heart forwards, lower the chest down. Turn your head to the left and lay down over the roll. Just another 5 breaths. Slow and easy. And inhaling, raise the chest, take the hands underneath the shoulders, push back to hands and knees, and just pause here. Take a couple of really good breaths. So feel for that freedom of your breath after the intensity of the roll. And then removing the roll, setting it out to the side and bringing yourself back through to downward dog. Ready for our second vignette? That's going to run Warrior 1, back bend, followed by lunge. On your inhale, step the left foot forwards, stand up and adjust the position of your left knee above the left heel. Right heel directly behind the right hip with your pelvis aligned towards the front of the mat. If you need to take a wider stance, then go ahead. Remember, it's your Warrior 1, not mine, so adjust as you need to. Bring the hands back so you can take the thumbs on either side of the lower spine. Fingertips pointing forwards, palms grounded against the back of the pelvis. Shoulders wrap down, elbows squeeze in. Inhale, telescope the ribs up. As you exhale, start to tuck the tailbone down and then ease the chest backwards. Slow, steady breath. Each inhale, gaining more height, gaining more length to the body. Each exhale, tucking the tailbone down. So inhale and exhale, you're both lengthening the spine. And on your inhale, gently raise the body up. And exhaling, taking the hands down to the floor, adjusting for your lunge. Remember, this is a low lunge position here, so hands braced on the left thigh, tuck tailbone down towards the left heel. Then inhaling, reaching the arms up. Exhaling, wrap the shoulders and draw the left knee towards the front of the room. And exhaling, releasing the hands down. Stepping the left foot back, grab hold of your roll, place it on the middle of your mat, and then lower your chest down, bringing the belly over the roll, and taking as long as you need to be able to adjust for that. From here, grab hold of your block. Now, it's personal preference for this one. You can either have the block lengthways between the shins or medium ways between the shins, depending on what works better for you. My body proportions, lengthways just seems to be a better fit, but I want you to have the block between the shins rather than between the ankles. So it needs to be above the inner knobbly bit on the ankle of both feet. Then from here, having the hands directly beneath the shoulders. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone down, squeeze the block between the legs, ground the feet to the floor. Inhaling, shoulders pull back. Push down through the belly, reach the chest up and forwards. Exhale slowly. Pull the heart forwards, lower the chest down, relax and repeat. Tuck tailbone down, squeeze the block, ground the feet. Inhale, pull the heart forwards, raise the chest up. Exhaling, still pulling heart forwards, lower the chest down and relax. Take 3 more in your own breath. Off you go. Once you're done, remove the block from between the legs, push back to all fours, slide the roll out from under the belly and come back through to downward dog. Take a breath here, feeling for the freedom across the chest, the belly, without the roll imposing itself. Then ready for the second side. Inhaling, bring the right foot forwards, stand up and adjust for your strong warrior 1 base. Hips square to the front of the mat, hands into your back bending position. Shoulders wrap down, elbows squeeze in. Inhale, tall, lift through the heart. Exhaling, keep squeezing elbows towards each other, begin to draw the chest back. As with all back bends, you can have chin to chest or you can have the chin back. Depends on whatever feels better for you. And if you're not sure, then play around with that. On your inhale, bring the chest upright, and exhaling, taking the hands down to the floor for your low lunge. Take your time, find that position with the best opening in the left hip. When you're ready, release the arms up. On your next exhale, release the hands down to the front of the mat, step the right foot back, and then fold over the front of the mat so you've got at least a couple of layers of mat for your knees as we work with camel prep. It's going to go like this. In a moment, you're going to bring your knees onto your wadded up mat. You're going to pop the roll in between your thighs. Then you're going to bring your toes tucked under behind you so that you've got a little bit more stability, a bit more support from the feet. Bringing the hands into their back bending position. Inhaling, raising the chest up, exhaling, tucking tailbone, squeezing block, or rather the roll, and easing the heart back. So, bring yourself into position. You want the knees to be roughly underneath the hips so you can play around with the positioning of the roll as suits you. Make sure you've got a firmly grounded palm on both sides. Shoulders down, elbows in. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head. Exhaling, tucking tailbone down, bringing the chest back. Be chin to chest or chin up again, whichever you prefer. But even if you feel that you're comfortable going into full camel, then I want you to keep the hands on the hips. So you're not taking the hands down to the feet just yet. Another 5 breaths here, make them worth your time. And inhaling, raising the chest back up. Remove the roll from between your legs, set it to the side. Unfold the front of your mat and come back through to downward dog for our next vignette. Third vignette is going to come warrior one with arch your arms, followed by lunge heel to butt. If you know your shoulders are a little bit tight, then feel free to grab hold of the strap whenever you need to. Inhaling, bring left foot forward, stand up and adjust for your warrior one base. Once you have that, bring the right arm up and take the right hand down between the shoulders. Swing the left hand down and up, clasping the hands together. If you can't get a good grip between your hands, take hold of the strap and dangle it down from the right hand here. Long inhale, draw the heart up away from the hips. As you're exhaling, tuck tailbone down, ground through the right heel, reach the left knee forwards. On your inhale, releasing hold of your archer arms, and exhaling, making your way down to the mat for your low lunge position. Make sure right knee is well padded. Start with the hands grounded inside of left foot and exhaling. Bend the right knee, bring the right foot up, reach back with the right hand and grab the shin. Squeezing right heel towards the bum, raise the left forearm across the left thigh if that's available to you. Once you're here, as you exhale, tucking tailbone strongly down towards the left heel and bend the right elbow so that you're drawing the right heel in towards your right hip, focusing on being able to create the stretch that you want. If you have the right arm straight, then the stretch is determined by the length of your arm, and you're the one that's in control here. So focus on being able to find a good opening and then come back into your breath. On your inhale, gently release the right foot down. Take the hands down to the mat and step the left knee back. Grab hold of your roll, place it on the mat and come down. Then grab hold of your block and place it medium ways or long ways in between the shins. From here, lower the chest down onto the floor. Now, we're going to do the same again for Wave Dancer Stage 3. We're going to have a couple of variations here. If either of these is too strong and you want to come back to any of the previous variations, such as Cobra over the roll or Wave Dancer Stage 1, then work with that. Try this out. Exhale, tuck the tailbone down, shoulders roll back, squeeze the block tight. Inhaling slowly, push the belly against the roll, draw the heart forwards, raise the chest up, and pick the hands up off the floor for a moment, take the hands back down. Exhaling slowly. Pull the heart forwards, lower the chest down, and breathe. Now we're going to try that again, except this time we're going to pick the hands up when we get all the way up to the top of our inhale, and we're going to ride the exhale down, keeping the hands lifted. Like this. Exhaling, tuck tailbone down, squeeze the block, ground the feet against the mat, shoulders pull back, and inhale. Pull the heart forwards, raise the chest up, pick the hands up off the floor, exhaling slowly. Float gently down towards the mat. Hands down and relax. You're taking 3 more breaths, whichever variation serves you best. Off you go. And once you're done, push back to hands and knees. Slide the roll out from underneath you. Bring the block out from between your shins. And bring the hands to the front of the mat, pushing back up through to downward dog. Another chance to take a couple of free breaths here. And on your inhale, stepping the right foot forwards, standing up and adjusting for your warrior 1 position. From here, we're taking the left hand up and left hand down between the shoulder blades. Right hand comes down and swings up, working into lance dodger. Working into archer arms. Inhaling, reaching left elbow up towards ceiling. Exhaling, tucking tailbone down. Reach the right knee forwards. Draw the right elbow down towards the floor. Slow, steady breath. And inhaling, gently unlock the arms. Exhaling, bring the hands down to the floor, coming down into your low lunge position with the left knee well padded. Here, we're going to come into lunge heel to butt, so with palms grounded on the floor. Exhaling, lift the left foot up, then take left hand back and squeeze the heel to butt. If you're comfortable coming up over the right thigh, then bring the right forearm above the right thigh here. Long inhale, telescope the ribs up, and exhale, tuck tailbone, reach the right knee forwards, bend the left elbow, squeeze the heel into the bum. And inhaling, gently releasing the left foot down. Step back through to downward dog, and then lower the knees down and sit the body up. In a moment, we're going to come through into full camel, and it looks like this. You're going to do the same as you did with camel prep. You're going to flip the front of the mat over a few times just to give yourself some padding. You're going to have the knees on the mat, knees underneath the hips here, no roll this time. Hands coming onto the hips, toes tucked under behind you, so the top of the feet lifted off the mat. Grounding through the palms, inhale, shoulders down, lift the heart up. Exhaling, elbows back, tuck the tailbone down, start to ease the chest backwards. Now you're keeping the hips above the knees here. Then, if you're comfortable going stronger, taking one hand at a time down to find your heels. And then from here, chin to chest or chin back as you wish. If you're comfortable with camel, then you can take the top of the feet down onto the floor, but make sure that you're still reaching the hips forwards, keeping them above the knees. To come out, one hand at a time, inhaling, raise the chest up. Your turn. So, padding the knees well, setting yourself up, hips above the knees. Start with the camel prep position for the hands. When you're ready, off you go. I'm going to be here for 10 breaths, so take your time. And inhaling, bring the right hand, then the left hand back up, raise the chest, and draw the hips back down to the heels. Keep breathing, don't bring yourself down into a forward fold, just because that's going to feel uncomfortable for the back as we move deeper. When you're ready, come back through to downward dog. And from downward dog, inhaling, bring the left foot forward, stand up and adjust the position of your feet for warrior one, hips square to the front of the mat. We'll start with lance dodger. So with your left leg forwards, wrap the left arm around behind the back and capping the right hip. If that's not available, make a fist with the right hand instead. On your inhale, sweep the right arm up. As you exhale, use the left forearm, tuck the tailbone down, reach up and back through the right arm. Now if this feels like it's just uncomfortable, then feel free to come back to that variation with the right hand grasping the back of the neck. But if you're happy to keep the right arm lifted, then work with that. Recognize what your response to the back bends is here. If you need to, come back out of that intensity, but make sure that you're making a conscious decision about what it is that you're doing here. And inhaling, raising the chest up, exhaling, taking the hands down to the floor, coming back to your low lunge position. Working with lunge, holding the back ankle. Exhaling, tucking tailbone down towards your left heel, then picking the right foot up, reaching back, grabbing hold of the right shin with both hands. Once you've got a firm grip on the shin, or using the strap around the shin if you need to, exhaling, tuck tailbone down towards your left heel, reach the left knee forwards, draw the right foot back. So unlike lunge heel to butt, you're drawing the right foot away from the body, but you're still tucking tailbone down to left heel, reaching left knee forwards. And inhaling gently, releasing right foot and hands down to the floor. Step the left knee back, grab your roll one last time. Coming down over the roll. Block medium ways or long ways between the shins. Hands directly underneath the shoulders. As always, if you find this too challenging, then feel free to come back to one of the earlier wave dance variations. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone down. Squeeze the block tight between the shins, ground the top of the feet, and inhaling. Pull the heart forwards, raise the chest up through to cobra, then lift the hands up, and exhaling slowly, lower the chest down. Keep the hands lifted, inhaling, raise the chest back up, and exhale, lean over to the right, gently lower the chest down. Inhaling, raising the heart back up. Play around with this, so you can lean to left, to right, and you can move about. Work on being able to keep the hands lifted for as long as it's comfortable. And then bring the hands down, exhaling, gently lower down over the roll. Take the block out from between the shins, push back to hands and knees, remove the roll from underneath you. Going back to downward dog for the last half of our last vignette. Inhaling, right foot forwards, standing up and adjusting to warrior one. Hips square towards the front of the mat, right arm wraps around behind the body, capping the left hip. If you can't reach the left hip, fist with the right hand. Bring the left arm up and the left hand can either come down to the back of the neck. If you're comfortable keeping the left arm raised, then work with that instead. Inhale, telescope the ribs up, and exhaling, right forearm helps to tuck the tailbone down, reaching up and back through the left arm. Strong, full breath. On your inhale, raise the body up, and exhaling, taking the hands down to the floor. Going back to your low lunge position. From here, Picking the left foot up, reaching left hand, then right back to grab hold of the left shin. Then exhaling, tucking tailbone down, drawing the right knee towards the front of the room, pulling your left foot back towards the rear of your mat. On your inhale, gently releasing the left foot down, step the right foot back and sit up. Have a look at what it is that we're going to be doing next. Working with wheel. We're going to start off by having a quick try, looking to see whether you're comfortable being able to come up into wheel. And we're going to do that for just a breath, and then I'll talk you back down out of it. So watch me demonstrate this, and then I'll do it with you, talking you through the process as we go. In a moment, you'll lay down on your mat, shuffle the heels in towards the bum, and have your palms grounded on either side of your ears. You'll be able to make sure that you're firmly on the mat, because if your hands are off the mat, they tend to go sliding in all directions. Starting off, exhaling, tuck the tailbone up, lifting the hips towards ceiling. Then from here, you draw the chin towards your chest before you push down through the hands to lift the body up. So you're squeezing chin to chest, keeping the neck engaged. So exhaling, ground through the hands, chin to chest, lift up, take a breath in, and exhaling slowly, lower the shoulder blades down to the floor, coming back to bridge. Take a breath here, and exhaling, tuck tailbone up, lower the hips down to the floor. Now, if you're not comfortable being able to straighten the arms and come up into wheel, then you're not going to come up into wheel. But what I really don't want you to do is I don't want you to try and push down through the head to lift the chest up, because that's a really easy way to injure your neck. So, starting off, lay down on your mat, shuffle the heels in towards the bum, have the feet around hip width apart, then ground the palms flat on either side, so you've got your fingernails tucked underneath the shoulders. This is just a trial. We're going to see whether we can come up into wheel. Take a deep breath in. Exhaling, bridge first, shoulders stay on the floor, lift the hips up. Take a deep breath in here. Exhaling, squeeze chin to chest. Start to push down through the hands, lift the chest up off the floor, take a breath in. And exhaling, slowly lower shoulders down, come back to bridge. Deep breath in here. And exhaling, tucking the tailbone up, lower the hips all the way down to the floor. Now, if that was comfortable for you, then you're going to come back up into wheel. If that wasn't really something that you want to be working with, or something that you're able to work with right now, you're going to play with camel on the wall. So you're going to fold up your mat and bring it towards your wall space. And from there, just as we did with camel, bring the knees underneath the hips, have the hands in their back bend position, tucking tailbone down, but keeping the pelvis affixed to the wall. Inhaling, raise the chest up, and exhaling, tucking tailbone down towards the heels. If you're comfortable there, releasing one hand at a time down to the feet, keeping the pelvis pressing against the wall. Then after 10 breaths there, one hand, two hands, turn the chin to the side and bring the heart back up. Take a couple of breaths here before you release down away from the wall. When you're coming back up, just make sure that you don't come too speedy, because if you happen to knock your nose into the wall, it makes the whole experience a little bit less pleasant. If you're working with wheel, I'm going to talk you through wheel. If you're working with camel, you're going to move to the wall and you're going to take camel on the wall by yourself, working for 10 breaths in each pose. If you really enjoy back bends and you'd like to be able to extend that 10 breaths, you're welcome to hit pause at any time. For those of you playing with wheel, lay down on your mat, shuffle the heels in towards the bum, bring the palms down, ground them on either side of the shoulders.
And then from here, on your exhale, tuck tailbone up, lift the hips into bridge. Take a full breath in. And exhaling, ground through the feet, ground through the hands, lift the chest up. If you're comfortable with the arms here, then you can relax the neck and let the head hang free. Wherever you're at, breathe slow and steady. Remember, anytime you want to come down, it's just chin to chest and lower the shoulder blades to the floor. And exhaling, chin to chest, lower the shoulder blades down, tuck the tailbone up, lower the hips to the floor. If you're in camel, bring yourself back up to the wall, turn your head to the side, take a couple of breaths. And then bring yourself back to your mat. So warming down with our very special forest yoga back bend ending. Starting with elbow to knee star spiral pulse. Interlock the hands together, top of the neck and the base of the skull. Bring the knees above the hips. Have the heels just below the level of the knees. Open the mouth, exhale everything out. Take a long inhale, fill the body up. Lift the head and shoulders just an inch off the floor. And then holding the breath in, curl tailbone up. Exhale. Bring your heart up towards the left knee. Stretch the right leg straight up to ceiling. Long inhale, turn the right knee in. And exhaling slowly, pulse up through the right heel, lifting right hip, but keeping right leg straight. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling, bend the knees, come back to center, push the lower back to the mat. Hold the breath in, curl tailbone up, exhale, chest up to right knee, bring the left leg up. Long inhale, turn the left knee in, and exhale, pulse up. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling, bend the knees back to center, push lower back to the mat. Hold the breath in, curl tailbone up, exhale, chest to left knee, stretch the right leg up, turn the right knee in, push 1, 2, 3 times, and inhaling, bend the knees, come back to center. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, exhale, lift the chest to right knee, pick the right shoulder blade off the mat, left leg up, left thigh in, push 1 and 2 and 3. Inhaling, bend the knees, come back to center. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, exhale, chest up to left knee, right leg up, turn the right thigh in, lift the right hip 3 times up off the floor and pull the belly down. Then inhale, bend the knees back to center. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, exhale, chest up to right knee, left leg up, left thigh in. 1, 2, 3. And inhaling, bend the knees, come back to center. Last round. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, slow and controlled. Exhale, chest up to left knee, right leg up, right thigh in. 1, 2, 3. And inhaling, bend the knees back to center. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, exhale to right knee, left leg up, left thigh in, 3 times up through the left heel. And inhaling, bend the knees back to center. Exhale, relax gently onto the mat. Back traction with Uddiyana. So shuffle the heels in towards the bum, put the palms on the front of your thighs, then draw the heel of the palms up towards the crease of the hips. Take a slow breath in here. And open the mouth gently, blow the breath out. Hold the breath out, pull the belly in and up, and then begin to apply pressure down through both palms. So you're taking Uddiyana, you're holding the breath out, and you're pressing down through the hands to get some traction into your lower back. And release the pressure down through the hands, release the belly out, inhale. And take a full breath here. We go through another round. Open the mouth, exhale strong. Pull belly in and up. Now, pressing down through both hands. Then apply a little bit less pressure through the left hand, a little bit more through the right. Feel for how that changes it. Then switch. So apply a little bit more pressure down through your left hand, a little bit less through the right. Just work your way back and forth. And release the belly out, inhale. Slow and easy. Release the hands down from the legs. Then reach out, grab hold of your roll. and roll over onto the side of your mat. What I want you to do is to line yourself up on the very edge of the mat. So your right heel, your right knee, your right hip and your right hand are all on the edge of the mat. You're going to take your roll and pop it medium width in between the thighs. Then from here, flex the toes back towards the shins. Have your left hand down on the floor in front of you just to be able to help keep your balance. So what we're doing here is we're getting a bit of side flexion into the spine. Let's go with 5 rounds as follows. Take a deep breath in. Balloon that breath into the right side of the chest, right side of the belly. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone down, squeeze the roll between the legs. Push the left heel away from the body, push the right heel away from the body. So you're extending the legs away from the hips. And inhale, balloon the breath into the right side of the chest. Exhaling, tuck tailbone, squeeze roll. Push left heel forwards, right heel forwards. Find that stretch, that opening in the right side of the chest. If you want to go deeper with this, you can always pop a block underneath the right palm. Relax, take a full breath in. And exhaling, tuck tailbone, squeeze roll. Push through the heels. Inhale, taking the best breath you can right now. Just 2 more rounds on this side. Tuck, squeeze, push left foot, push right foot. Long, full breath in through the body. And inhaling, release. Roll over onto your bum. Keep the roll in between the legs. Roll over onto the left side. So, getting that alignment, left heel, left knee, left hip, left palm in line on the left side of the mat. You want to have that left hand close in underneath the left shoulder so that you're getting some side bend in the chest. But as I said before, if you need more, grab the block, slide the block underneath your left hand. From here, as you inhale, feel for being able to open up the left side of the chest this time. And exhaling, tuck tailbone, squeeze the roll. Push the right heel forwards, push the left heel forwards. And inhaling, fill the body up. Repeat that process. We've got 4 more on this side. Take your time. And inhaling, gently release. Roll over onto your bum. Release the roll from between the legs. And then from here, laying down for a final reclined spinal twist before we come to Shavasana. So laying on your back, bring the left knee up towards the chest and gently draw the left knee in towards the body. Then taking the left hand onto the floor above the left shoulder, popping the left hand under the back of the head when you're ready. Exhaling, rock left knee over towards your right armpit. Take the left knee as far as you need to find some decent stretch in the back of the body around the left hip, whatever's tight for you here. Then nourish that with your best breath. And inhaling, bring that left leg back to center, releasing the left leg down and switching sides. So left leg straight, draw the right knee up to the chest, right hand on the floor above the right shoulder, keeping the right knee tucked up to the body. Exhale, bring right knee over to left armpit. And inhaling, bring the right leg back, releasing the right foot down. Having worked with back bends in today's practice for Shavasana, you can either take a rolled up mat or a long rolled up towel and pop it underneath the knees. If you don't have those available, or you'd rather just move straight to Shavasana, then you can shuffle the heels in towards the bum and bring the feet wider apart than the hips. Lean the knees onto each other so you've got the legs bent, which helps to take some of the tension out of the lower back. It's just going to be a little bit nicer as you're working through your Shavasana process. If you find that you'd be happier with the legs straight, then of course you just straighten the legs. Hands resting on the belly or palms open towards the ceiling. Tuck the shoulders down away from the ears. Lengthen the crown of the head away from your torso so the neck gets a good stretch. Close your eyes, take a slow breath in, fill the body up. Open the mouth and let the breath go free. Just a couple more times, feeling for being able to let the body become softer with each exhale. Just being able to spend the next few moments here as part of your practice in a relaxed state, present inside of yourself. Just for a couple of minutes, and I'll bring you back when we're done.
Begin to deepen your breath. And start to stretch open your fingers, your palms and your wrists, your toes, your feet and your ankles. Then ease the knees up towards the chest and holding onto the knees loosely. Just rock yourself from left to right. Then release the right hand down by the right side of the head. And exhaling, rock over onto the right side. Press yourself up and come back to your comfortable seated position, facing towards the front of the mat. Hands in prayer position in front of the heart. Chest lifted, shoulders soft, breath as big as you can make it right now. Namaste.